26 laps to go in Thunder Valley. The University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150. Coming up right after us, the setup and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live right here on Speed. See where the track is really light gray up at the top, just to the right of the pace car? That's the area that they've worked on here. And even the modified drivers say the transitions, especially coming out of turns 2 and 4, a little bit tricky with that newly ground concrete at the top of the racetrack.
Well, it's not worn in yet, and it's going to take a race or two before that happens, or even potentially by the time we get toward the end of the race on Sunday here, or Saturday night here, it could be all worn in and good to go. But that's a tough place to run that high on the racetrack.
25 to go. Let's set it for you. Szegedy inside the front row. Silk outside. Bonsignor and Preece in row 2. Kobe and Chu. UNOH and McKennedy. Goodale and the Whelen Modified Tour South point leader Brunholzl in row 5. Bone, Stinson, Hagee, and Speeney are the lead lap cars back through 14th position. 24 to go when they get the green. Szegedy out first. Silk is right with him. A lot of contact, bump and run in the back, and around goes Christopher. Well, that was not pretty.
No, and he's got another flat tire, this time in the left rear, and it's still going on. They're still wrecking.
3. Chu wrecks with Kobe, and
Szegedy's in it.
In turn 4, half a lap after the caution.
Whoa.
Wacky Wednesday?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Now there's your point leader in the Mod Tour, and he's got a flat right front. Kobe does. All right, so there's Christopher going around. Now that's down at turn 2. That's what brought out the caution. All right, that brought out the caution flag right there in turn 2. And now watch the leader. Oh,
there it is.
Boy.
Yep.
As they came to the caution, well, that's the flat tire on Zegedy's car, and you see Kobe and Chu get together.
It's Ryan Newman's car.
The 3 just ahead. Oh, Teddy had to check up.
Yep, and Newman caught him, and Newman has a flat right front.
Yep, as a result. Teddy had to check up for something in front of him. Ryan Newman got into the 3. And there's Newman coming to the pits, and you get an inadvertent look at how wide the wheels are on these modifieds. I'm doing this from memory, but 15 inches seems about right.
Yep.
This is the 7th caution or the 8th? One of those.
Let's see the tire coming right off Newman's car, just flopping around, flopping around. There it goes.
Eighth caution flag. Bob?
Phil Moran down here is the crew chief for Todd Szegedy. I tell you what, this team is not happy at all right now. They are trying to argue the point that the caution came out for Ted Christopher spinning off of turn number 2. Basically, Phil Moran said we were just taken out by the 6 car.
Well, I don't disagree, Bob. And the caution was for Christopher. However, in all of NASCAR's touring divisions, you are required to maintain pace car speed. Now, the pace car had not yet picked up the field. So perhaps Moran has a valid point. Doesn't appear that's the way they called it.
But he's not the one that's going to make the final decision. That's a NASCAR decision. And it looks as if the 2 is going to be in the back.
Yep, right.
What a shame. I mean, Szegedy had run a beautiful race all day, and now we got a flat right front on Doug Kobe's car.
Well, Kobe's been trying to circulate to get to a position where he can get onto pit road and get that fixed without losing a lap. You know, being the point leader, and there's 13 cars on the lead lap, so he would start no worse than 13th. Now, the danger of riding around like that is you can grind off valuable suspension parts.
Yeah, in particular,
that can't quickly be replaced.
Yeah, in particular that front anti-roll bar.
Yeah, those are not run flat tires, folks.
No. So that then will put Silk in the lead. the guy who won the pole and last year's champion.
Who also happens to be the guy who took out the leader during this caution period.
Funny how that worked.
Not well. $19 to go. And since we're in a little bit of an overtime period here as the trucks are waiting to go, here's a look at it. This is the front of the field after the caution has come out, or at the time of the caution, excuse me. We don't have it synced up. And the yellow was not out, we're told. They were still racing for the lead. At that time, the crash has happened in 2. There's the caution flag. Starter looking toward turn 3. However, caution calls are made by the tower. And
that was a good one. Based on what we just saw, that was a correct call.
So just 2 cars battling for the lead, trying to fit into one place.
I think so. 2 champion drivers.
It's not that Silk took Szegedy out. They were fighting for the same point on the racetrack, which was still under green.
Yeah, Szegedy, I'm sure, would dispute that. But then again, how many times have 2 cars gotten together and one driver thinks the other came down on him? The other driver thinks the other fella came up on him.
All right, Kobe has finally made it to pit road for a right front tire. But we're getting ready to restart. He is going to lose a lap, making the change with 18 to go.
He had finished every lap this season until now.
Silk and Bonsignor at the front of the pack. And Preece trying to move through for second place on the bottom.
Well, this has been going on for much of the second half of this event, with Bonsignor and Preece each trying to outdo the other for position, and now it's for second.
Point leader Doug Kobe takes his car behind the wall.
Whoa.
He's done for the night.
That's big.
Preece diamonds the corner, drops to the bottom and gets inside Bonsignor for second. Bonsignor let him go. And here comes Szegedy from the back of the pack. He is passing cars like no tomorrow. Fresh tires on Zegedy's car. He is up to 5th. He's got 14 laps to catch the leaders.
He needs a caution. We've had plenty of those.
He might catch him without one.
He might. But still, he's got to get by 3 other guys just to get to Silk.
And excuse me, he did not pit. And Bonsignor loose, but he holds on.
So far.
He may lose 3rd to UNOH. That was a long slide for Bonsignor. And that car didn't want to make turn 3 either. Zegedy's coming. He's got those 2 in his sights. 12 to go.
Szegedy has had one of the best cars, if not the best car, in this race. Trying to make up ground, trying to catch the leaders.
11 to go. He is at 4th place with UNOH.
He got him.
And looks at Bonsignor.
Oh, bounced it off the wall coming off the corner. Szegedy just bounced it off the wall, hit the wall with that right rear tire. Can't try any harder than that.
And he can't hold back. Bonsignor's car is loose in, and Szegedy takes advantage. He jumps to 3rd. Silk, Preece, Szegedy. Lap cars stay on the bottom, including Chu. Trouble with his car, but he's going to ride this one out to the finish. 8 to go. Szegedy 1.9 seconds back. There's the gap. 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
And Silk in the number 6th, who narrowly missed winning at New Hampshire Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago, now in command as the laps wind down.
The setup and the NASCAR Camping World trucks are next. Stick around as we finish off this modified race that has seen this man, Todd Szegedy, come from all the way in the back up to 3rd and looking at the back bumper of 2nd after he and Ronnie Silk bumped together, racing for the lead just before the caution came out.
Zegedy's team can be proud of the job their driver has done in this event.
5 to go. Traffic, including Kobe, who is back on the racetrack limping around trying to protect his point lead. And Szegedy has gotten to the back bumper of Ryan Preece. 4 to go. This won't be easy.
He's trying him on the outside. He's got him.
And Priest gives him room. And now it's Silk and Szegedy 1-2. 1.6 seconds is the margin with 3 to go. What a drive by Todd Szegedy from the back of the pack. Ronnie Silk has run hard and deserves the front spot, but for the contact with Szegedy. And that was just racing. White flag this time by. Silk coming up on traffic. And it won't be a factor. Szegedy closes to 1 second behind the leader, and Ron Silk gets the 9th win of his Whelen Modified Tour career. He won the Thompson Icebreaker. This is his 2nd win of 2012. He joins Doug Coby as the 2 drivers with multiple victories. 7th here last year. And he's the 3rd different driver to visit victory lane at Bristol in a modified. But the drive of the day was Todd Szegedy in the number 2.
And Szegedy is expressing his displeasure with Ronnie Silk right there. Oh, spun him out as the crowd reacts.
It's a hard call to make. Was it just racing? As those 2 battled for the lead, and Szegedy spun out just prior to the last caution. Clearly Silk got the inside. He had plenty of room on the corner. Szegedy came down. They made contact. At first, I thought Silk took Szegedy out, but Dick, the more you look at it, the more it's just 2 drivers going for the same spot.
Yeah, it is. And when you're going into the corner, the guy on the outside, of course, is going to come down some, and the guy on the bottom is going to slide up a little bit.
Ronnie Silk is the winner. Todd Szegedy, an epic drive from the back to come within 0.8 of a second of the checkered flag. Ryan Priest, strong drive for 3rd. Bonsignor 4th. UNOH the top 5. Brunholzl preserves his Whelen Tour South Point lead with a 6th place finish. Doug Coby got back out there. I'm not sure if 17th will be enough to hold on to the point lead in the North. And a lot of the favorites ended up on the hook or in the garage for an extended stay, beginning with the big wreck at lap 3.
Danny Bone, the rookie, finished 7th today. What a run for him.
Hey, great drive.
Yeah, well, you got Ray Evernham in your pit. That's going to help. Yeah, but he drove well.
Bob Dillner strolls into victory lane, where Ronnie Silk awaits after his 2nd win of the season in the TS Haulers, number 6.
Got to get the right hat on.
Here we go.
Silk climbs out in victory lane. A big sigh of relief in victory lane, but what happened there with the contact between you and Todd Szegedy?
I got a run on him down the backstretch off of turn 2. I got my nose in there, and I stuck it. I kept it in there, and he came down across the front of it. I mean, I didn't see the video, but from what I thought, I was as far down to the bottom as I could, and he just decided to see if I was going to lift or not, and I didn't. Feel bad for him, but you know, they were talking about shortening the race. The next yellow could be the end of it, and I could actually, for a few laps, I could run with him. So if it was going to be a short dash, I thought I had something for him, but you know, I'm sorry that, you know, I don't want it to turn out that way, but that's what happened.
What does it mean to be in victory lane here at Bristol, Ron?
Oh, it's pretty important. I mean, we've struggled here the last couple years, tried a whole bunch of stuff this time, and to get it pretty close to right is a good feeling. So it'll be a much better ride back to Connecticut now.
2nd win this year, but certainly this victory, one of the biggest of his career.
That's a 15-hour ride. That's going to be a sweet one. And there, Todd Szegedy gets a little bit of consolation. What a drive back to 2nd place by Szegedy. after that dust up with Ronnie Silk. We promised you a day to remember when the Mod Squad came to Bristol. Wow, they did not disappoint. The setup and the Camping World Truck Series are next. Keep it right here on Speed.